Okay. Thank you so much, colleagues. We've got the Manqoba Mngqithi coach. Coach, congratulations on your win. Your thoughts on the game?
I think it was a very tight game. I think Stellenbosch started very strong. I think in the first 10-15 minutes they already had 4 corner kicks, which is their main strength. We were a little bit timid in the midfield. 2 of my midfielders today were not at the level that we expected, and that made us to struggle with our build-ups, slow in football actions, and they gained momentum. I think first half, from those set pieces, they could have punished us. Fortunate that no clear-cut opportunities were created from those, but it was not a very good start from us. We did have some moments, I must say, but those moments were few and far between. But I think second half we started very strong. We overloaded that left side of theirs because we saw that Sculp was struggling with Ndaka, so we wanted to force Ndaka to make a choice whether he goes to Madonsela or he goes to Sculp, so that the midfield is a little bit open, and that's when we started to see him coming into the game, because now we opened the channel for him. I think that those moments are the ones that made us to gain momentum and started to put the game on their side, and scored a very good goal in the process. But I must say it was a very tight contest. It was not easy for us to win this match. It was always going to be difficult, and Stellenbosch is always difficult against others. So we expected a very tough game anyway, and I must also comment the good work that was done by their front 3. I think those boys are doing a very, very good job. Chupedo, Pili and Titus, they are always deadly on transition, and we know that. But I think we managed to force Pili to his weaker foot, because he always wants to come to his right, and when he comes to his right, he's got a very terrific right. And we managed to manage him, and not to always have cool threats, but rather to play and combine with his teammates, which gave Ndaka a little bit of a chance to take shots from range, which was better than Pili taking shots closer. But credit must also go to my boys. I think they ran, they worked very hard, and to a certain extent, I think it was only fair for any of the 2 teams to win the match. But thankfully, we won it.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Coach, it seems like Milana was supposed to be a win of the Savannah. It seems like Gogo show games we see the league in the Nedbank Cup now. Out of 8, that's 8. Lenza Ruben Amatima Matatu, Slid and Sassy for the Georgia. Into I predict to Tamatima Mane, Secretary Mane, more chances for Kaiser to compete. Tampe local team. Kuyon Nedbank kuthi amathina sekhethe masesela sebathathu out of 8, and that will make it pressure again amathina ngoJonathan ukuthi finally we can end the drought in the country.
Manje ngiyajabulisa kakhulu ukubona amaqembu aseKZN ecomputer. Njengoba ngakade ngishilo, it would have been nicer if we never had amadabi in KZN, because uKhambathi neMilford, Amazulu and Richards Bay minimize our chances to still have a bigger pool, but hopefully if we can have 4 or 3 staying in the... We already have 3 in my opinion, but we are hoping that maybe Milford can give us the 4th one, and we try to spread it around and not play against each other, so that the possibilities of going to the next round can be there. So it is encouraging, and the football that these teams are playing is also looking very good. And we've gone younger in all these teams, and I like that, because it's some form of liberation from our side, because we've always been those teams that when you want to dump something, you dump it in KZN, and we ask ourselves, why are we always struggling when we've got so much talent in the province? But the reality is that we are struggling because we are using the players that in most cases are rejected by other teams, and maybe at that time they are no longer at the level that they can help us. Maybe they are already on the other side. So it's encouraging.
Coach, the penalty there, do you think the lucky was on our side? Because I don't know, maybe the referee looked at in terms of the close range, but Giannis' arm was outstretched. Just your thought on only not being given or just on the side of maybe?
To be honest, I have not seen it, but the reality is it will go back to what I said. The game is too fast. To make some of the decisions, you need technology, because the speed of the game will always, at sometimes, be faster than the referees, or sometimes make referees to make conclusions, to say maybe it was too close. But when you have the second chance to look at it, you will be able to see exactly what happened. And I would not appreciate to win a match with such issues, because this issue, I think I've been talking about it all along, because the reality is you must win a match without such issues. And how are we going to achieve that when we are going to be facing the same problem every week? Because I look at how our team attacks, and I say, which referee or official can manage to keep up with the speed and be able to stay with the second last defender? And those things for me are the realities of our game. You look at the speed of a team like Pirates, it will always be difficult. Look at the speed of Chiefs when they played Stellenbosch, the chances that they were getting behind the defense of Stellenbosch. And you say, will the match officials have the capacity to deal with these things? And it's the reality, it's the game, it's the demands for the game. The game has become too dynamic, and the price is always too heavy for any team. And to lose a match and you have complaints that maybe it should have been a penalty, maybe it should not, it's not good. Because at least we should have a second opinion which would help to make better decisions. It's still not perfect, but it's better.
Just to on that, the referees in South Africa are not permanently employed. You don't know what they do during the training. Like you said, you introduce so many things. How are we going to fix that? Because we might have VAR, but they are not permanently employed by SAFA. We don't know what, in terms of the nutrition, we don't know what they're doing during the week, to prepare for this game.
And that is probably the reason why you need VAR, because whenever there is a mishap in terms of the judgment, if there is VAR, you are able to look at it again and say, because the official was behind the action, this was offside, this was not offside, this was a penalty, this was not a penalty, this was a red card, this was not a red card. But when you are expecting the referees to run like football players, then you are unfair, because we put these boys through rigorous training in terms of strength, in terms of intermittent speed, where it's anaerobic endurance, it's endurance, it's speed, it's acceleration, and all these things that we do every week are not gonna be the same with the match officials. And the old rule was, which is still there, the linesman must be in line with the second last defender. But now there is a striker in an offside position. What do you do? And that striker, when they play the ball behind and it finds the fullback too far away from the official, when that ball is played back to the striker, what happens? The officials will never cope with this, and it's beyond them. We must not be unfair.
Coach, I had a two-pronged question. One, in the previous cup competition, Kali, you had quite a good run there. Obviously, you were dreaming, but how do you guard and find the balance this time around? Because seemingly, once you get to the quarterfinals, favorable draw, whatever the case may be, anything can happen. And on the second question I had was around building and grooming talent in the KZN region. Does that mean now the big transfer fees will be left to the so-called big three in South African football, whereas you find your own and they come running to you, as we've seen reports now with so many KZN players next to the fighting teams?
That is the reality of football throughout the world. There are selling teams and there are buying teams. And the selling teams must make sure that their pipelines are are stronger to make sure that they always have the next breed, so that we saturate that market. And those who buy will keep buying and our teams will get richer. And we'll be able not to buy at least 1 or 2 good players here and there and stabilize our teams and make sure that we can start competing. But we cannot stop the thinking that we should develop players in order to sell, so that we balance our books and we are able to reinvest a little bit and see what we can get. But the direction that the teams are taking, believe me, it's very good. Because not all these players can be bought. And if all these players are bought, then it means our teams will be better off financially. And that is what we should be driving towards.
The cup run?
The cup run for me is the least of the most important things. I just want my players to win the next match and fight for the next match. And if it breaks down somewhere, it's okay. But one thing I always say to my players, I want us to treat every match the same. We must just want to win a football match. Be it it's a friendly, be it it's a practice 11 versus 11 within us, we must fight to win your match. And that is a culture I want to instill, so that a lot of other things take care of themselves. When you fight in pre-season to win every match, you fight in training to fight for players, to fight to win the match, then it helps the players to understand the pressure that comes with wanting to win. And as whether it's the cup or not the cup, for me, it's not the most important. What is important is to say, this year we've lost 1, we've drawn 1, we've won how many? And that is the most important, because that's what we can build on.
Okay.
Then I know it might not be in your position, but just an update on the FIFA ban.
And the FIFA
Do you
ban?
have any idea?
No, that is not my space. And fortunately, I don't want to buy anyone. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
I don't want to buy now. I want to build this thing and see how far I can go. Maybe next season we'll talk about it. But now, I don't even have a chance. Unless if I'm looking for a reject from somewhere that is a free agent.
I got my answer.
Thank you.
Coach, you are actually in a competition that says once you win the competition, automatically you will be playing in the CAF competition. So, and then now, Arrows has shown that it's a team that has a potential to win this competition or any competition. You see. So I know now that I'm looking far, but
At least you know.
yeah. So, but definitely sure, such talks, they need to already, I'm sure they've already started to, should we actually jump this fence, then the total story is going to change.
My brother, I want to win every football match. Whatever happens, happens. That's all. For me, I will never go to a match not wanting to win it. No matter what kind of.
So are you ready for CAF?
I'm ready for any match to play. Why not? Stellies have gone there. If we can go there, it's good for the club. The club is old. It deserves that. And the other thing that you must also know, the financial rewards of playing in Africa are far higher than what people think. And that is very important. As whether we've got the budget or what, you cross that bridge when you come to it. But at this stage, I don't want to think about that. I just want to think about the next one. Thank you very much, guys.
Coach, just a basic one from me. Sunday
It's
What makes Golden Arrows such a tricky team to play in cup competitions? You know, we've seen just how far you guys can go in the calling, and last season you guys showed a lot of promise as well. In the quarterfinals now, what makes Arrows such a tricky team to play in cup competitions?
I just think these boys have improved tremendously in many football actions. And strangely, the youngsters that are non-name brands are also beginning to raise their hands. And the growth is expected if you follow the process and you try to work on your team dynamics, your group dynamics, and you try to improve football players. And you also play the role of being a coach sometimes and try players where you think they can do better than what the stereotypes would be telling you, because there are so many players that come to you and one coach somewhere decided this boy is a fullback, but when I think he can play somewhere else and he can do better. And maybe the reason why he has not really progressed as far as he should is because he's playing in a wrong position. There's one boy that I always feel sorry about. He's not my player and I'm not going to mention the name. He's probably one of the best number 10s that I've seen at a young age. And he's got a goal, he's got the intensity, he's got the dribble, he's got the run. He is very powerful. But I don't think he will ever see that because he has played maybe for 3 teams. And those 3 teams he's playing as a fullback, as what, and unfortunately the poor boy is Squishy's size. And how do you expect that player to play in Africa as a fullback where teams are playing direct? He will always be shortchanged when he goes there. But the boy grew in front of me, I could see him, he was such a talent. But coaches make mistakes. And that mistake maybe make the player to stay in a wrong position for the rest of his career. And this poor boy, unfortunately, I don't think he will still have a chance to change and play where he's supposed to have played. Because when he was playing in that position, he was probably one of the best number 10s that the country would be having now.